Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to integrate Swift Godot to create an iOS plugin in Godot game engine. Now I have made several videos on this, but the special thing about this video is firstly there are a lot of breaking changes in the latest version of Swift Godot, especially related to signals, how we send data using signals from native iOS side to Godot side. And the second important thing is the latest version also supports Swift 6. So if you are interested in using some Swift 6 related feature, we can do that as well. Okay, now second thing is I'm using the latest version of Xcode, which is 16.4 at the time of me recording this video. Also I'm using latest version of Godot, which is 4.4 at the time of me recording this video. And there is one more thing here. I have just created one cheat sheet, so don't get confused if like I will be constantly checking this out. So yeah, don't get confused because it's very difficult to remember all the steps by myself. That's why I'm making use of the cheat sheet. So first I have created one empty folder named Godot. Here you can see inside downloads, you can create it wherever you feel like. And also for creating an iOS plugin you would require macOS, because Xcode only works on macOS. So yeah, inside this Godot folder we will be creating all our projects. So it will be one our iOS library, then our Godot project, then we need to export our actual iOS project from Godot. So there will be 3 different folders. That's why I've created one parent folder named Godot, but like I said, you can name it whatever you feel like. So yeah, up to you. So first just open Xcode and you have to click on file, new, click on package, here select multi-platform, select library, click new, click next again, and here I will just go to my Godot folder. I'll keep the name as it is, but you're free to change the name to whatever you feel like, but it's important. Remember that this name is very important. Same name you will have to use in lot other places. Wherever I will write my library, you will have to write your actual library name in case if you decide to change it. So I'll just click on create. Now let's come over here. So if you see this, it tells us the same thing. So we have already done this, we have done this as well. So next, if you see, we need to add these dependencies package URL. So I already have this inside my cheat sheet, but like I said, you can copy it from this URL as well. So just copy this particular part, come back to Xcode. So this file will be open by default, package.swift, and you just have to paste it like this. Okay, after products array, right? After products array, yes. Then the next thing is we need to add this dot package URL as well. Okay, we don't need to add this, sorry about this, ignore this. So if you wanted to use a exact version of Swift Godot, then you can use something like this. So instead of this, you will have to use this. So suppose there are even further breaking changes. So currently Swift Godot version which I am using is 0.50. okay, but suppose they release some other version in future and there are even more breaking changes in the future, then what you can do is you can just tag to the specific version by using this particular bit of code. But like I said, I'm not using this because we are using something like this. Okay, then we need to add this platform iOS version 17. So again, let's go back to here. Let's see how they have added it. So here you can see they have added it for macOS, but we will add iOS. So I'll just paste it like this. Okay, and here you can see I think it is current version of Swift which is released is 6.1. I think 6.2 will also release soon, but I think for that they will release a new version of Xcode as well. Okay, then we need to add this type dynamic as well after library name. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, make sure you press Command S as well. So as soon as you press Command S, here you can see, you will see this package dependency has been downloaded. It might take a minute or two for it to reflect, but yeah, do keep this in mind. So it uses internally something called Swift package manager, so we don't have to worry about anything. Automatically it downloads the dependencies for us. Okay, then we need to add this as well. So again, I'll just copy this. Like I said, you can copy it from this as well. If I scroll down here, you can see they have added after target name, right? So after target name, I'll just add a comma and I'll paste it over here, and I'll just improve the indentation a bit. Okay, that is done. We don't need this, we don't need to change the Swift tools version. Okay, then we need to go to my library.swift. So I have code for my library.swift. I'll just copy it and then I'll show it to you. Okay, I'll just copy it. I'll just go to my library.swift. Okay, and I'll just paste it over here. So here we are importing Swift Godot. This is boilerplate code which you have to write for Swift Godot. This again, this should be your own library name. Here we annotate with @Godot so that GD script knows about it. Then again, this should be your own library name. So here I have created one signal. So signals are basically, suppose if you want to send some data from from iOS side to Godot side, you will use signals. Okay, so here I have created 3 methods. So every method is annotated with @callable. So this is important, otherwise Godot will not know, like you won't be able to expose this method to Godot. That's why we have to annotate with @callable. Okay, and here you can see, here I'm just doing addition of 2 numbers and I'm directly return it back. Now this is a synchronous call, so we don't need to use signal for this. I can directly return the value. If you want to type a return something like this, I think this will also work, but I'm not going to go through that because this is, I think if there are multiple lines of code in this function, then you will have to write return. But given that there is only one single line of code in my code base, then I am not writing return, but I will keep return because most programming languages have it. Here also I'll write return. So this is a simple function where I'm just doing addition of 2 numbers. Then I have created another function which takes integer, which takes string as well, and here whatever you give it from Godot side, I'm just appending hello to that. Okay, and the third one is hello to, again this is really bad method names, but yeah, ignore that. And suppose now you are doing some asynchronous call which takes a lot of time, then you have to use signals. Okay, if it is a synchronous function, you can directly return the value using return, but if it is asynchronous, highly advisable to use signals. So that's what we are doing. So value change.emit, and here you can see this is how we are sending it back to Godot side. So this is how it works. Now this name is very important. Do like keep this name in mind, because depending on this name you will have to change a code little bit on Godot side. Alright, now what I'll do, I'll just remove my cheat sheet a bit, and what I'll do is I'll just open this entire Godot folder in VS Code. Now I have VS Code. I'm more comfortable with VS Code as compared to Xcode. So the next step I will be doing it from VS Code. You don't have to use VS Code. You can use any IDE. You can do this even via Xcode. I'm just more comfortable by VS Code. I'll bring back my cheat sheet again. Okay, so we have done with this. Okay, next we need to create a build.sh file. So here you can see this is my library, right? I'll create a build.sh file over here. Then I'll just minimize this. Okay, we need to go to this particular URL. I'll just copy this. I'll open it in a new tab. Then I'll just copy this entire thing and I'll paste it over here. Okay, next what we need to do, we need to add the skip macro validation as well, because I was facing this issue, that's why I'm adding it. So firstly, here it should be your own library name. So in my case it is just my library, right? So I will write that over here, and here I will add a dash skip macro validation. Make sure you don't add any extra spaces. Okay, once that is done, we just need to open our terminal. Okay, I'll just clear everything out. I'll just cd to my library folder which we have inside our terminal. Okay, then we need to first run this particular command. Just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, then we need to run this command as well. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Now if you check, this is a debug command. So if you're planning it to release it to Apple App Store, your plugin or your Godot game, you will have to change this debug with release. Rest everything remains the same. Okay, now this will take a bit of time, so ignore this. We'll go back to creating a Godot project. So let's just open Godot game engine. Okay, I'll just click on create, and here I'll just name it as my Godot project. Okay, I'll just browse, click on browse. I'll go to downloads and go to the Godot folder. I'll click on select current folder and I'll just click on create. So it will create the project for me. So here let's see what we need to do. Okay, So let's just, so first go to 2D scene. Here I have three methods, right? So I will create three labels just to show you all the code inside it. Okay, so I'll just create three labels. Label over here. Okay, I'll just add it over here. Command D to duplicate it, I'll move it down. Command D to duplicate it, I'll move it down. Okay, I'll just add something, 1 2, just so that I can see it. 3, I'll just select all three of this. Okay, I'll just go to theme override, I'll go to font size, and I'll just change it to 40 or maybe even 50. Okay, so I'm able to see three of my labels. I'll just do Command S to save. I'll just run this so that my current root scene is selected, otherwise you will face issue while trying it to run on a real device. Okay, now I'll just go to Node 2D. I'll attach a script to this. Okay, then I will just okay, I think again I'll go back to my cheat sheet. I already have the code written, so I'll just copy the code and then I'll explain it to you. Just copy it and I'll paste it over here. So I'll just expand this. So here you can see, firstly I have created a one variable for my library and the data type is variant. Then here we like get hold of all the three labels which we have created. Then inside the ready function, here if my library is equal to null, and if we check if we have my libraries, the framework folders which we will be creating from this particular command, we will be packaging it with our Godot project, then we automatically initialize my library. Okay, and then if you remember, we had a signal called value changed. Now here you can see the name is value changed. It is, I think this is called camel case. So on Godot side you will have to write it like this, value underscore changed. So this is very important, don't miss this part, otherwise things will again not work for you. Then here you can see, once we get a variable, we just call this method. Okay, and whatever data we get, we just update it on our label 3. And here what I'm doing is, if my library is properly initialized, then I just immediately call all the methods. So first we had an addition method, then we had a hello method, and last we have hello2 method as well. So hopefully you got the point. It's as simple as that. Then just go to project, export, click add iOS, click on fix import. Now you require App Store team ID, so I'll enter mine later, but make sure you enter it right now only. To get your App Store team ID, you can go to this particular URL. This will guide you on how to get your App Store team ID. Make sure you enter your App Store team ID right now, otherwise you won't be able to export your project. Okay, I'll enter mine later on, like I said. Then just scroll down, and here you need to give some bundle identifier. So I'll just give it as com.my Godot game com. Coding with nobody. It is typically dot, it is it's the format is like com dot your company name dot your game name. So yeah, this is fine for me. So I'll just close it. I'll do Command S to save it again. Now what else is remaining? So next is we need to create a bin folder, and inside that we need to create this GD extension file. Now what I have noticed is that it's very difficult to create this .gd extension file from Godot game engine, at least at the time of me recording. That's why again I'll use VS Code. So here you can see I have my Godot project open. So inside that we can just create bin folder, and inside that we'll just create this particular file. Again, instead of my library, if your library name is different, you'll have to change the name. I'll just paste it over here. Now if I just open it inside Godot game engine, here you can see bin folder. Now if I try to click it, it's not opening it for me. That's why I'm using VS Code for this. Okay, now inside that we need to add this particular bit of code. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So again, if you are using release, you will have to change release over here as well as over here. Rest everything remains the same. Now we need to copy these two framework folders. Let's see. So here you can see this has finished creating our frameworks folder for us. So you just need to go to my library, go to bin, go to iOS, copy these two, then go back to your Godot project, go to bin, and just paste it over here. Okay, so this is done as well. I'll just close everything. Okay, I think that should be it. Next I'm back to Godot game engine, and here Firstly, we'll just go back to Godot folder. Here I'll just create one more folder named iOS. You can name it whatever you feel like. It's just that once we export a project from Godot game engine, it will create lots of files. That's why I've created a separate folder for this. So I'll just go to project, export, export project. I'll go to the iOS folder. Where is it? Godot, yeah, iOS over here, and I'll just click on save. Now again, like I said, if you're planning to deploy to Apple App Store, you have to uncheck this export with debug. I'll just click on save. Now this will take a bit of time, so let's just wait for this to finish. And also, once it has finished, we'll have to run this project on a real iOS device or an iPad device. It will not work on a simulator, so keep your iOS device, real iOS device or iPad OS device handy. You can see my export was successful. I'll go back to my Godot folder, go to iOS, and here you will have to double click on this .xcode proj file. It will open in Xcode for you. So you just need to click on this run button, and it will open the project for you inside on your device. So here you can see I have my device connected as well. Okay, now I'll just mirror my device. Just give me a second. Okay, so here you can see I have mirrored my device. Now it gets stuck on the splash screen for quite a bit. I think this is because we are running in the debug mode, that's why. So yeah, let's just wait for a second. Hopefully this should work. And here you can see these are the three labels which are displaying the correct value. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you like my tutorial, do comment. Otherwise, if you have any questions, do comment as well. Thank you for watching. Bye.